They've had a lot of success, whether it's the regular season or the conference tournament, here at the Thomas Mack. Boone against Ledee, and San Diego State wins the tip underway. The officials, Mike Reed, Randy Richardson, Mike Littlewood. Of course, the clock did not start, so the whiteout crowd at the Thomas Mack Center has to wait a little bit to see some action.
Love the energy in this place, though. There were fireworks right before tip. How cool was that? Only in Vegas, right?
Got to put on a show.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
Well, San Diego State, they're coming off of the weekend bye. Their last game was a week ago. San Jose State played them close at Viejas. It was a 4-point game with about 4 minutes left. San Diego State did enough to win it by 8. Clock moving, we're good to go. And Darion Trammell off the screen. Here's Jaden Ledee, the All-American candidate. Mid-range jumper, a line drive short, and the leading rebounder for UNLV is a guard. Luis Rodriguez tallies his first.
It's a good matchup right here. Dedan Thomas versus Darion Trammell. Different styles, but both highly intelligent point guards.
UNLV has gone to their big lineup now the last 11 games, starting Rob Whaley Jr. Started with the injury to Justin Webster. You'll see him in off the bench in this game. Rodriguez gets the O-board, lefty scoop, no, and Powell secures the rebound.
So much of what San Diego State is going to do is they're going to try to go into the interior as much as they can. They love going into the post-up off of the ball screen.
And Butler takes the long two off the rim. Rebound knocked out of bounds, belongs to UNLV. So these two teams both known for their defense.
Back-to-back possessions for UNLV where they forced mid-range jumpers. So 2 good looks defensively for the running Rebels so far to start this game. So much focus goes on Ledee and his ability to try to kind of keep him away from the rim as much as possible.
It's almost a pick your poison with Ledee because he is so effective with that mid-range jumper, but you don't want him anywhere near the basket.
No question about it. He prefers to be around the rim. He's one of the best finishers in the country, not just the Mountain West. Better to have him as far away as possible.
Thielen Boone way off. Darion Trammell, who did not score in the game against San Jose State last time out. He has 2 scoreless games this season, both against the Spartans. A lot of bodies surrounding Ledee. Hits the floor for the first of what will likely be many times. Whistle and a jump ball. The arrow gives it to UNLV.
Looked like a lot of contact there on Ledee. That could have easily been called a foul because Ledee, even though they didn't quite have full possession, watch his left arm gets hit.
Now, Mike, I feel like a lot of the conversation surrounding San Diego State games begins with how do you officiate the action surrounding Ledee?
There's a little bit of how do you officiate Shaq when he was playing. He's so big, he's so strong. Ledee looks like a linebacker. And he sometimes plays like a linebacker too, where defenders will just bounce right off him. And so that's the natural human element of the game, is Ledee is ref differently than most players in college basketball because he doesn't flop and players just have a tendency to bounce right off him.
Yeah, which fouls do you call, which ones you let go? He leads the Mountain West in free throws attempted. Lamont Butler off the curl. Shot clock down to 10. Micah Parrish launches. Dedan Thomas gets the rebound. Freshman who just turned 18 years old, reclassified. It could be the freshman of the year in the Mountain West. Triggers and hits.
It's the next evolution of his game. He's a good three-point shooter, but not a great one. He's 36% from 3. If he gets close to 40%, I'm not sure there's a point guard in the country that's going to be able to slow him down.
Well, you hear the term 3-level scorer a lot?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He could shoot it from 3, mid-range and floater. Very crafty finisher.
Ledee loses the handle, regathers. A big hop step, and there's the foul. With Caleb Boone guilty of his first.
This is where Ledee is good. He loses the handle just briefly. Usually has a pretty good handle, and then he's straight to the rim. And this is Didon Thomas, throws it in the post. Immediate recognition by Boone to kick it back out on the same side double. You can see his form, Chris. It's fluid, it's really good, and it has a chance to be an elite three-point shooter because of his backspin, his balance, and his rhythm.
Ledee at the free throw line, 74%. Spends a lot of time there, and his free throw percentage up. San Diego State is a deep team, and they'll sub a lot with Brian Dutcher. Reese Waters, who started a lot of games this year, 23 in fact. He checks in, as well as Elijah Saunders. That's the numbers for Jaden Ledee.
Certainly Ledee is an All-American candidate, top 20 in the country in scoring. And when he's really good at drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line.
Missed both, but the Aztecs get the rebound. Caleb Boone knocks it away on the driving Lamont Butler, and it belongs to UNLV.
UNLV is second in the Mountain West in blocks. Top 50 in the country. They're big, they're long, they're athletic, and they play hard without fouling.
In fact, both Boone brothers had 4 blocks in the win against San Jose State over the weekend.
A three-quarter court press for San Diego State, just slowing UNLV down enough. You look up at the clock, they don't even get to start their offense until 18 seconds on the shot clock.
Thomas is comfortable, late shot clock, calls for the screen, or at least the high post from Whaley. Kick to the corner, but a heel out of bounds right in front of the San Diego State bench. It's a UNLV turnover. Second of the game.
And Thomas was talking to Whaley on that possession. Whaley was open, should have shot it. And Thomas, the freshman, looks over at Whaley, the junior, and says, hey, you got to shoot that. Shoot that. That's part of the leadership that kind of goes unnoticed from Thomas. He is wise beyond his years.
It is crazy. A lot of experience around him, but the team and the coaches trust the freshman with the ball in his hands in the key moments. He usually makes the right decisions. Butler bricks it. Another rebound gobbled up by Caleb Boone.
We expected this to be a low-scoring game. We were talking before the game. We said, look, this is going to be physical. This is going to be a game that's going to be in the paint mostly.
And Boone for 3. Great start for UNLV, up 6-0. Slow starts have been a story for San Diego State as of late. They trailed after the opening 5 minutes in 8 of their last 9 games. And that one's off the hip of Reese Waters. Second San Diego State turnover. UNLV, great start.
Try to tell you, Didon Thomas, drive, kick for 3. That is bread and butter for UNLV. There are 4 losses, including a loss to Southern, Loyola Marymount. It is a strange resume, but they weren't healthy for most of the first 5 or 6 games of the season.
San Diego State gets a steal right off the inbounds, out of the timeout. But to your point, Mike, UNLV is the only team in the top 100 of the net with 3 quad 4 losses. It's so unique. Ledee hits the ground. There is a foul.
So Ledee posting up and then just bringing them down. And they're going to talk this over briefly, yeah, and look at it.
And Luis Rodriguez pulling down Jaden Ledee.
You have to use every ounce of your strength for that to happen, for someone to pull down Jaden Ledee. Should have watched Jaden Ledee's right arm. Does he hook him a little bit? Yeah. Ledee actually hooks him just enough. There's a late switch as Whaley helps on the drive.
See the potential hook and hold.
It's so hard to referee Jaden Ledee. He's an absolute tank on both ends of the floor. You have to throw multiple players at him.
Getting the explanation, Randy Richardson coming over.
So it's been upgraded to a flagrant 1, and that means Ledee gets 2 shots. It's one of the things I actually think it's a really smart play by Ledee. I think he hooked him enough to where he helped himself falling down, but not enough to where it was egregious on his part.
And wherever he is on the court, there's a lot of attention around it. So a flagrant 1 on Luis Rodriguez, and Ledee, after missing his first couple of free throws, gets San Diego State on the board, taking about 5 minutes.
Jaden Ledee is 7th in the nation in fouls drawn per 40 minutes. He draws almost 8 fouls a game. You never see him complain. You never see him asked to come out of the game. Coach Dutcher I asked him about it. He kind of just shakes his head and laughs. He goes, "You think Jaden Ledee wants to come out of the basketball game?"
No way. Brian Dutcher said after the win against San Jose State, after a slow start, erupted in the second half, scored 21 points. That was All-American type stuff.
Yep.
Off the San Diego State turnover. Rob Whaley Jr. making his 11th start of the season. Thomas Yo-Yos gets Ledee on a switch. Step back from the elbow is shorts. Feeling good underneath, beckons it in, sticks it right back.
Keep an eye out for that action. If UNLV looks to get Ledee switched on to Thomas and the shot goes up, that means Ledee is not around the rim for a rebound.
Taking advantage of the offensive glass. San Diego State still looking for their first field goal. They're 0 for 7. Turnell finds Saunders for 3 off the back of the rim. Ledee fights, but it's off the body of the Aztec forward. Now UNLV over the last 10, we've mentioned their record, how they've done it, the defensive side.
Yeah, look, number 1 in opponents' points per game. They're only giving up 61 points per game. If you shoot over 40% against UNLV, you are completely lucky because they have been locked down. That previous possession was a great example of how locked in defensively they were.
And then on this side, UNLV over this stretch, pick and roll game and post up play. They get a little bit of both. Foul on Reese Waters is his first. First on San Diego State.
UNLV is, to your point, Chris, is top 25 in the country in pick and roll scoring efficiency, and so much of that has to do with Thomas's ability to maintain his pace and tempo according to where he wants to go. He's got such a good handle, he's never sped up. It's a sign of a great point guard.
Keelan, hit one earlier. Jones rises up off 2 feet.
Gotta get a dunk on senior day.
The senior from Chicago, one of 6 honored before the game for UNLV, leading by 8.
Look at this defense by UNLV.
Kevin Kruger, he's in a defensive stance. You can see him near the top of your screen. Bricks it, Ledee from the free throw line.
Masterful. Ball pressure, in the gap helping. Textbook.
Thomas, nice inside and a whistle. With Waters defending.
Carl Jones on the offensive rebound gets the huge senior night dunk. You know that makes the family proud. I just sense UNLV right now bringing about 5 to 10% more energy around the rim. They are very physical, crashing both ends of the glass.
Important minutes here. You just saw Deion Thomas head to the bench. Dustin Webster in for UNLV. Jones, the senior, second year at UNLV after 3 different junior colleges. The average is less than a point per game. He has 4 points in the last couple of possessions. Butler blinding first step. Following Jay, Caleb Boone got a piece. Volleyed back out. Reese Waters settles. And San Diego State still without a field goal. They're 0 for 9. Foul. Prevented by Keelan Boone. Denied. And slide. Jones comes in. Again with a teardrop. Off the bench, Miles Heidi has it poked away. Will stay with San Diego State. But boy, is this UNLV defense swarming.
They're playing out of their minds defensively. The ball pressure, the block. Carl Jones is having the game of his life right now on senior nights. Rodriguez got away from a foul there on the baseline, though. Big standing ovation for Carl Jones. Well deserved.
Indeed. It only averages about 5 minutes per game. They have a great stint. San Diego State 0 for 13 from the floor. Waters trying to end it. He does from the corner, a fading three. Team's best three-point shooter at 41%. Nearly 8 minutes into the game for San Diego State to make a field goal. Brooklyn Hicks, freshman from Seattle. Dynamic scorer in high school is in. Justin Webster hits and is fouled. With the closeout from Waters, his second foul. Justin Webster has a chance at a 4-point play. UNLV has exploded at home. The red-hot running Rebels. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal.
The Rebels has been nothing short of terrific.
And over the last 10 games, as Webster completes the 4-point play, they have the conference's best scoring defense, field goal defense, and three-point defense. Carl Jones had a great stretch, came in for a couple of minutes. His energy provided a spark for the Rebels, who are up 11.
This is a time for San Diego State, for Darion Trammell to get going.
Parrish in and out, sit back no, and finally vacuumed in Keelan Boone. Boone steps into a transition three. Initially hit the backboard, tipped and saved. Brooklyn Hicks.
They're trying to go high-low here. ISO.
Rob Whaley Jr. rattles it home. The junior from Farmington, Utah, averages 7.5 points per game. UNLV 18-5 lead. San Diego State 1 for 16 shooting. And this is Trammell fouled on a three-point attempt. And the closeout from Hicks.
I just had a feeling that Trammell was going to get his number called. Nothing was working offensively for the Aztecs. And Trammell coming off ball screen is some go-to action for San Diego State that they run when they can't get anything going. He's such a good ISO player and pick-and-roll player. Came into San Diego State before last season with a huge scoring pedigree. Transfer from Seattle, where he's consistently scoring 20 a night, has taken a completely different role for San Diego State, and they are better for it. I find that a great show of humility by Trammell and selflessness to take it away.
And to your point, did not score in the game against San Jose State, but ran the show well at 8 assists. Make sure to tune in to the 2024 Reese's College All-Star Game presented by Walmart on April 5th, live 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. Jaden Ledee scored a couple at the free throw line for San Diego State. He's still without a field goal.
This is where San Diego State can't hurt you. Their press is good. They don't do it a lot, but they do it at the right times.
Webster's pokes. There you go. That press works out. Trammell rips it away. Trammell chatting. Whaley. But Ledee follows. That won't fall. Ledee again. Yes, sir. So the first field goal from Jaden Ledee. See right there, 5 blocks already for UNLV. They break the press, step through. Keelan Boone can't spin it in. Jay Powell secures the rebound. Parrish steps in and out. Powell pushed off. Loose ball foul on the San Diego State forward. San Diego State's defense trying to get them back in it.
Trammell doesn't get enough credit for his on-ball defense. Great hustle, giving up the body to get the steal. And then Ledee, this is what he does. Crashes the offensive glass, stays with it. Could have been an and one as well. We mentioned it earlier, it's hard to referee Ledee.
The freshman against the press zooms right through it. Operates against Trammell. Takes it himself. Caleb the old boy. He sticks it backward too. And a whistle. Count the basket. The hoop and the horn from Caleb Boone.
It's a tough look from Thomas. But something that Caleb Boone does exceptionally well all season long, crashing the offensive glass. Got away with a small push-off on Powell.
Ledee gets called for his first foul. So Caleb Boone, he had that great game about a week ago against Wyoming, 24 points. Other than that, in his last 5, he's been held in the single digits. Explosive start in this game. He had 8 against San Diego State in the first meeting. Back in is Carl Jones. For the round of applause, he had a couple of minutes stint, or his energy boosted UNLV. Elijah Saunders started 21 games off the bench in the last 8 as Brian Dutcher in January tweaking the lineup quite a bit. Corner Jay Ledee, no, and then a foul underneath.
But Coach Dutcher clearly not happy because he feels like it wasn't called on the other end of the floor when Boone pushed off on Powell. It's a good sell. It's certainly a good sell, but it's also, yes, an offensive foul because of that push-off and the extension of the arm.
Getting a steady diet of the San Diego State press. There's Whaley. Kick to the corner. Keelan Boone is time. Swish. 24-10 UNLV piling it on at home early. Miles Bird fires way off. Luis Rodriguez wanted a foul on the rebound. High level. First 12 minutes from UNLV. Thomas hit a 3 earlier on. Then gets Ledee on that switch. Rodriguez delivers low. Boone goes up anyway. Counts! Wow! Keelan Boone back-to-back jumpers. It's 27-10. Rodriguez reaches. UNLV has it clicking.
I mean, the offense for UNLV is humming. We got back-to-back threes off of driving kicks. It is electric in the Thomas Mack right now. And he has a high-level play of finding an open teammate. He knows he drew 3 defenders. Someone's going to be open. Corner pocket 3. Great ball movement. Good execution from Rodriguez. Excellent cut and pass.
You diagrammed UNLV in their execution on offense. Keelan Boone, a result of that, already 11 points. But their defense, UNLV, holding San Diego State 2 for now 23 shooting. After that one from the D is snuffed. Again, Jones swats it from behind. San Diego State saves possession. 6 to shoot. Parrish for 3. No. Rebound volley off of Thomas. It'll stay here.
UNLV has 6 blocks in the first half. This is called shrinking the floor on Ledee. 1, 2, 3 defenders around him. They get 1 block, And then the second one was just right after that. Man, suffocating defense.
Jamel Nice. Saunders fires. That's a swish. He needed it. Saunders 32% from three. His first triple here tonight.
Cleanest look that San Diego State has gotten in the offensive end so far.
Took a while to get it in. Whaley has to turn the corner. San Diego State mentioned their shooting struggles. UNLV on the flip side, shooting 56% in the early going. Thomas finds Jackie Johnson III, the transfer from Duquesne off the UNLV bench. Doesn't hit rim, a shot clock violation. So San Diego State takes over. Aztecs right now, Jerry Palm has them as a 3 seed in his latest bracket. What always stands out about the Aztecs, you look at quad 3 and quad 4 losses, none, and they've stacked up some wins as well.
0. How great is that of a resume? All of their losses have been quad 1 losses. Not a single quad 2, quad 3, or quad 4 loss for San Diego State.
All quad 1 losses on the road. Thomas wants that screen from Jones. Always has it on a string. Steps into a 3. Halfway down. Jones, guys! He tried to throw it down the hammer and gets called for the foul. You can see Ledee, his frustration for San Diego State. Meanwhile, UNLV.
Carl Jones is having the game of his life on senior nights. He's had a couple blocks, a couple dunks, and that is big-time effort on the offensive end, crashing the glass. Wow.
Again, Butler on the foul is first. Jones just 4 of 8 from the free throw line this season. Called it the game of the season so far for Carl Jones on his senior night. Splits the pair. Ryan Dutcher trying to get his team to play well on the road. They have dropped 5 of their last 7 road games at San Diego State. Off the double team in the corner, Trammell somehow finds Ledee. Patient, Ledee gets fouled.
That was an amazing pass from Trammell. I mean, absolutely amazing. He had nowhere to go, was double teamed. Watch this. Didn't panic, wraps around pass from Whaley. That is awesome stuff.
Rob Whaley gets called for the foul. So Trammell mentioned his growth of being more than just a scorer. Passing being a factor there as we take a look at the Reese's player profile, Jaden Ledee.
And he's going to be an All-American. Leads the Mountain West in scoring, top 20 in the country. One thing that we don't talk about enough of is his conditioning. Jaden Ledee gets fouled constantly. We just take it for granted. He goes to the free throw line. He doesn't say a word. That comes from his summer work boxing. He sparred 5 days a week, ran the mountains, and then went back into sparring and did shadow boxing 5 days a week in preparation for this season. That's unbelievable.
His work ethic legendary. I just, don't want to be the person on the other side.
Absolutely
sparring.
not. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Against Ledee. Just a well-built 6'9", 240 from Houston. Could be the player of the year in the Mountain West this season. In fact, All-American candidacy for Jaden Ledee. Right now his team, though, down 13 on the road. Trammell in the passing lane, saves it from going out of bounds. Trammell leaves it, Butler lays it in. So San Diego State clawing back in it with an 11. They trap Thomas. Johnson across the timeline.
Too far of a pass from Johnson in that previous possession, but Trammell with another excellent dime.
And Butler all over Thomas, kicks it. And a great hustle by Darion Trammell to get to the deck, pick it up. No look feed. Butler, count it. San Diego State striking right back. Timeout UNLV. Lamont Butler, his 124th game as an Aztec. And one run for San Diego State, back within single digits.
Even though Boisean only has 3 points, he's made his presence known in the game exactly when San Diego State needed it. 3 steals, 4 assists already in this first half, and he has been everywhere defensively. He's shown poise on the offensive end and peskiness on the defensive end. Trammell has essentially brought San Diego State back.
And Butler knocks the ball off the knee of Dedan Thomas Jr. and out of bounds. So that Aztec defense picks up right where it left off.
That's what the full court press is designed to do. Exactly that. Get you to speed up, play fast, and you can see it bounce right off of his left knee. Good call by the referee.
Turnovers piling up for UNLV. 8 of them. Saunders, rainbow 3, bullseye. Down to a 5-point game, and that press relentless.
San Diego State is never out of a ball game because of their defense. It's one of the reasons why they are built for the postseason.
Too aggressive as Butler gets called for the reach, his second.
I initially thought Saunders should have thrown that inside to Ledee, who had position on Whaley. But that was the second made 3 for Saunders.
Saunders, interesting story, as Miles Byrd in for San Diego State. Mentioned the 21 starts for Saunders. Came off the bench now 9 straight games. Said it was a relief to come off the bench as opposed to being in the starting lineup. January was rough for him.
And he said he's just more comfortable coming off the bench. But it's worked. San Diego State has played really well with him coming off the bench. I mean, look at the last game when they beat San Jose State. Had 10 points in 22 minutes off the bench.
That a Gatorade Player of the Year, Dedan Thomas Jr. Dad, an all-time great, top 5 all-time assist at UNLV. Harris looking in the post. Ledee gathers, surrounded by 4. Ledee doesn't care, hooks it home. Down to a 5-point game. Ledee is 8 points. Remember, UNLV got off to the roaring start in this game. Thomas draws the foul. Boisean Trammell. That's his first.
It's a good look on how Ledee is one of the more efficient scorers in the country.
Some better looks. Jaden Ledee has been a factor.
You can go ahead and hang this in the Louvre for an elite duck-in. There's Ledee. Watch him step in and hold position. I mean, my goodness, that is textbook. It's one of the reasons why he's one of the most efficient post-up scorers in the country. He's actually second in the nation in post-up scoring efficiency. Hunter Dickinson of Kansas is #1. Ledee's #2. He's a couple spots ahead of Graham Ike for Gonzaga and Zach Edey of Purdue analytically. How about that?
And that's post-up scoring. He has that mid-range. He has the isolation. His improvement has been off the charts for San Diego State.
This young man at the free throw line, Dedan Thomas, is already playing like one of the best point guards in the country, but he is going to be one of the best point guards in the country. You think about a passing of the torch. Isaiah Stevens graduating from Colorado State. It's about to become Dedan Thomas's Mountain West.
That's a jump ball. The arrow will keep it here. Yeah, Stevens. Talk about a great passer. Coming up next, send you to the New York studio. It's AT&T at the half. Brent Stover and the crew, they'll get you caught up on a busy night of action. Feels like every night. We're in the month of March. One where you just want to sit on the couch as long as possible. Brent Stover will get you caught up on everything.
Arguably one of the better dressed hosts in the game, I think, Brent Stoker. Great pocket square game.
I was going to talk about the hair.
Oh, fantastic
Hair game.
Yeah, I agree.
2 on the shot clock. Parrish, rainbow, does hit rim. But it's Keelan Boone who vacuums in the rebound.
That defensive possession for UNLV felt like the first 8 minutes of defense we saw from UNLV. San Diego State couldn't get anything going. Trammell just getting deflections, steals. He's been everywhere.
You did that right in front of us. You can see the bright grin on his face, that smile. He wanted the steal. See, the ball hasn't really gotten inside the three-point line yet. The shot clock's at 5. Webster, floater, front of the rim, and Parrish snatches the rebound. Saunders tried to whip it quickly. Webster read it. Webster zooms, waits, and is blocked. Saunders comes from behind and knock it out of bounds.
How about Parrish sprinting back in defense after Webster gets the steal, and you hesitate a little bit. Both Parrish and Saunders are very good shot blockers. You got to do your best to just go right through the chest of Parrish.
Now, Mike, we're fortunate throughout the year to go to team practices, shoot-arounds.
Yep.
I don't think any team takes as much time as San Diego State does defensively, specifically verticality. They're a team that there's a reason why every year they're inside, it seems, the top 20 in KenPom defensively.
Spot on observation by you, Chris. They spent 15 minutes in shoot-around this morning working on how to defend layups without fouling. Very few teams in college basketball, maybe Houston, maybe Virginia, just drilled over and over and over again. All those little things make up an elite defense.
Micah Parrish called for the last foul, 2 free throws. Thomas has missed 3 in a row. There's San Diego State defensively. There's the numbers, and you wonder how they do it. And yeah, it's that repetition for their reputation.
Yeah, first in the Mountain West in scoring defense, top 30 in the country. They're 8th in KenPom's adjusted defensive efficiency. It's hard to make threes against San Diego State. It's hard to get layups. They make you take a lot of mid-range jumpers. In this game, we've seen UNLV be able to find a couple cracks in that defense in the three-point line. One Rebels have hit 5 threes in the first half.
The D surrounded by a couple. Picks to the corner. 3 is blocked. Parrish had it tipped. Keelan Boone attacking defensively.
That's the 8th block for UNLV in this game.
UNLV approaching 6 minutes without a field goal. Thomas whips, but tipped out of bounds. Tried to get it from one corner from another, but Parrish tipped it away. Take a look at the last 4 in, last 4 out. Jerry Palm's latest bracketology.
Yeah, New Mexico only has 2 quad 1 wins. They're listed as last 4 in, but we just had them. They lost at Boise. They got Utah State on Saturday. They desperately need one more quad 1 win to be comfortable.
Stumbling a little bit in February and early March. Parrish got it. Micah Parrish from the corner. Down to a 3-point game. Last field goal for UNLV at the 8:13 mark of this first half. Keelan Boone has it slapped away. After being down as many as 17, San Diego State could tie it with a 3. Instead, they give it away. A minute to play in the first. Thomas off the Whaley screen. The Vegas product directs.
Nice quick switch to keep Trammell away from Whaley.
Whaley goes up with it anyway with 2 around him. First field goal in over 7 minutes. Ledee for 3, front iron, and UNLV should have the last look. UNLV has worked that into his game this year. He hadn't made a three in his career before this season. Has tallied 14 of them.
1-4 low look here for UNLV. That usually means they're going to get a sprint ball screen with about 7 seconds on the clock.
There's the ball screen. Whaley sets. Thomas, 3 seconds. Foot on the line, 2. Front rim, and that'll do it for the first half. San Diego State started shooting 2 for 25, and UNLV built a 17-point lead. But it's the running-up team's same conference record, 11-5. They're tied for 3rd in the Mountain West, 1 game back of the 2 teams that are in first place, Boise State and Utah State. Big second half from the Thomas Mack.
I can almost guarantee you Coach Dutcher at halftime said, if we play with the same type of pressure that we played with in the last 6 minutes of that first half, we're going to be just fine. The pressure, the full court press, the 3/4 court press, it bothered UNLV late in that first half.
There's Caleb Boone, the interior Boone twin. That's the exterior Boone twin. Keelan too strong. Caleb gets the rebound, and he's fouled by Jay Powell. His second, and San Diego State's first.
You made a great scouting report, Chris, and I'm not even sure you actually realized it. Both Boone brothers can play inside and out. How do you scout for that? How do you prepare your team for that? It's very difficult. Both players are long, athletic, and can shoot the 3 and play on the inside. Hard to scout against.
They walk side by side before the game being honored here on senior night. Another foul on San Diego State. So quickly 2, not even a minute into the half, and that's Jay Powell's 3rd. So already Coach Dutcher forced to make a change. Elijah Saunders, the sophomore from Phoenix, checks in at the 4 position for number 4, Jay Powell.
Saunders had a nice first half. He had a couple threes, good looks just when it felt like the Aztecs were out of rhythm.
Luis Rodriguez, 3 and D, misses the 3-pointer, and now he has to play D. Let's go. San Diego State started this game 2 for 25 shooting. Trammell turns the corner, draws the help. Gets it back, jumps into a 3. Front iron, Rodriguez, he amazes me at 6'6". The amount of rebounds he tallies leads the team 6.5, top 10 in the conference. Whaley jumps in, didn't have a plan. Turnover, Trammell, coast, deposits 2. San Diego State trailed by as many as 17 points. Thomas on an island, needs some help. 2 seconds, floats it. Great catch by Rodriguez.
About the handle from Thomas there, getting double teamed. I mean, it's just, he's got that thing on a string.
Tough bounce pass gets to Caleb. He stumbles, and he is fouled and takes a break.
Watch this possession for Lamont Butler. He goes to double. He goes to double immediately. And this is what San Diego State does. They don't just double to stop you. They double to try to get a steal as well. Everybody sucks in defensively. It's called shrinking the floor. And he gets the deflection, gets the steal, and the throw ahead. Lamont Butler continues to be underappreciated as one of the best defenders in college basketball.
Micah Parrish got called for that last foul. Offense has been tough to come from for UNLV since midway through the first half. Thomas is the creator. Step back for the mid-range. Oh, short. Jaden Ledee gobbles it up.
You live with that if you're San Diego State defensively. Thomas taking a fade-away 17-foot jumper along the baseline. Low percentage.
Saunders can shoot it. He misses front rim. A loose ball foul on the rebound. It'll stay here. It's on UNLV. Keelan Boone, his first. Reese Waters in for the Aztecs. The former Pac-12 Sixth Man of the Year at USC. He began the year as a starter for San Diego State. Now back in that six-man role as the scorer off the bench. Rodriguez hands in, gets the steal. But then the outlet pass intended for Rodriguez knocked away.
Just Lamont Butler making another underappreciated hustle play for the Aztecs.
San Diego State slowly but surely chiseling away from that 17-point deficit. That would have tied it. Now, what are some of the things UNLV can do on this end to get their offense unlocked?
Where UNLV has been really good, especially the last 7 games, is in ball screen action with Thomas. But San Diego State has been switching the ball screen consistently and really slowing Thomas down.
Even this 1-5 pick and roll here, they switch sometimes with these comfortable defending. Thomas, though, takes advantage that time and sneaks it in.
But San Diego State didn't switch that time because they didn't want Trammell on Whaley, who would have just rolled and had post position with a smaller guard on him.
Trammell, body of Rodriguez on him. Rodriguez, that size advantage defensively. Dylan Boone trying to reach. Ladib, how about the between the legs? Powerful steps. Floater. Halfway down. Saunders saves. Open Reese Waters. That's a round and out. Couple of good looks for San Diego State. So this time, screens on both sides for Thomas. Caleb turns, elevates, and Ladib gets called. He doesn't like it, but it's Jaden Ladib's second foul.
Dedan Thomas making plays happen for UNLV at home. This is a good one.
Foul called on Jaden Ladib.
And Coach Dutcher was really upset when he feels that San Diego State is contesting these rim attacks and not fouling, that they're not breaking that rule of verticality and they're playing straight up, which they practice consistently. And we've watched that replay multiple times, and he was extremely upset with the fact that he doesn't feel that the first half was being called the same as the second half.
They just announced it. That's why you hear the roar from the crowd. Technical on Brian Dutcher. It's a big moment here early in the second half. Couple of free throws. Luis Rodriguez can't connect on the first. One of those, though, Jaden Ladib and how he officiated, that's just always the storyline for San Diego State games on both sides. The fouls he commits and the fouls that are against him.
I would also say, though, just to counter that a little bit, I don't think Coach Dutcher was upset specifically just with everything revolved around Jaden Ladib. I think he was more upset about, as a whole, his team contesting rim attacks and them being called when he feels that they're not breaking that verticality.
But again, that was such an emphasis at shoot-around today, that being able to contest layups without fouling, going straight up, and spent about 15 minutes on that specific drill. Caleb Boone at the free throw line. Standout at Oklahoma State for 4 years, was all Big 12. UNLV an 8-point lead, trying to close a regular season as strong as this month of February has been. Turning the corner to March. They've won 9 of their last 10. San Diego State, identical conference record at 11-5. There's a bump and a foul. Jaden Ladib will strut to the free throw line. Rob Whaley called for the foul. So Jerry Palm's Mountain West seed projection. Of course, these teams will be in Vegas coming up next week. 3 sevens in a row. He's got all the sevens in Vegas. 3 sevens. Good sign for some good games.
It's the best the Mountain West has ever been. Coach Dutcher talked about it in pregame with us, and this is just a loaded Mountain West season. 6 teams in for the Mountain West. There might get more teams in than the ACC, the Big East, the Pac-12. Is the Mountain West better than the ACC, Chris?
This season,
I don't think it's an unbelievably hot take to say.
It's just been
that
one
the
of those
top 6 teams of the Mountain West is right now better than the top 6 teams of the ACC.
You say hot takes, but just a hot button issue with college basketball.
No
it gets the fans engaged a little bit.
Please don't tag me on Twitter.
After a stop, UNLV possession. Thomas Swings. Boone turns it down. Rodriguez attacks the closeout. Teardrop is true. First bucket for Luis Rodriguez, the fifth-year player from Los Angeles. Was a three-point game, 7 straight for UNLV ends with the Elijah Saunders floater. This gives you some of the feel of what will be next week at the Thomas Mack Center in the conference tournaments. Leon Thomas finishes amongst the trees.
He's just got incredible touch. I just can't believe this kid is only 18 years old and freshman. Senior level talent, Leon Thomas.
Elijah Saunders open from the corner, knocks it down and has something to say about it. Third three for the sophomore off the bench. A possession where UNLV, their intention clear. They want to post up. But San Diego State denying it from all angles. Rob Whaley Jr. is the recipient and called with a foul on Butler.
This is where San Diego State is really good offensively, is when Trammell drives, kicks, and Butler makes the unselfish extra pass. Trammell gets the hockey assist, Butler gets the statistical assist.
Third foul on Butler. Miles Bird checks in for San Diego State. Already 16 fouls for San Diego State. 1-and-1 on the next foul. Keelan Boone, air ball. Saunders gets the pinball. San Diego State since 08-09. No D1 team has more road wins against a single team than San Diego State against UNLV, and Elijah Saunders trying to keep it that way with another three. Back-to-back possessions. It's down to a 4-point game.
San Diego State has 7 threes. Saunders has got 4.
2 in each half. Rodriguez knocked away. Miles Bird flies.
Man. No kidding. That was a block and a half from Bird. He gets caught on the low side. Good recovery by Bird.
So it's the roommates, one on each end. Saunders hitting the threes, and his roommate Miles Bird helping out defensively. Whaley bodies. Stick back, no. Wrestling match for the rebound. Jump ball. Arrow will go the other way. San Diego State ball.
Luis Rodriguez may have been a little bit too aggressive there. I think he knocked the ball out of Whaley's hands when Whaley was going back up to catch that miss.
It's 18 wins since 08-09 for San Diego State on the road against UNLV. And then you combine their conference tournament success at the Thomas Mack Center. This is a building they're very comfortable. Miles Bird, 3 threes in a row for San Diego State. Down to a 1-point game. Bird, part of that development system with Coach Brian Dutcher. Only 4 games last season. Patience. And waiting to get his chance. Okay. Wanted different basketball? Leon Thomas says that ball was slippery. This shot from Saunders was wet. So UNLV, if you're just joining us, had about as great of a start as you could have at home against a ranked team. They led it by 17. They held San Diego State to 2 for 25 shooting to begin the game. But a late close in the first half for San Diego State. Now a 9-0 run has pulled them within 1. Thomas spins from the elbow with the shot clock at 1. Shot clock violation.
Elijah Saunders has had himself a really nice game. You know about the threes, yes, but that was a terrific defensive one-on-one performance from Saunders, trying to guard one of the best point guards in the Mountain West, in Leon Thomas and ISO. That's a scary thing.
Right now, the bench for San Diego State has flipped this game. 3 threes all in a row from players off the bench. Tramel's a starter. That one rolled all around and out. And UNLV vacuums up the rebound. Thomas wants 3, wide right. The second chance of this possession, Saunders reaches in, pokes it away. The Aztecs have never led and still haven't. Keelan Boone flies and prevents the dunk from Bird. Saunders to follow, it's off to the left. Bird tips, but Thomas grabs. Keelan Boone double team. High pass prevents the rotation. Block down to 8. Flings it to the rim, front iron it off. Ledee chases, but Rodriguez gets it. Scoops it, no. Tip up and through. Looked like it was Caleb Boone the one to tip it in indeed.
A wild sequence offensively for UNLV. It wasn't pretty, but they made it work.
Playing above the rim. Ledee on the post against Whaley. Can they get it to him? No. Clock down to 5. Cross court, Saunders for 3. Back of the rim. Keelan Boone, he wanted a foul, so did the crowd. No call. Gets the rebound. Ball always seems to find Thomas's hands in big spots for UNLV. Typically makes good decisions. Whaley passes. Corner for Keelan Boone. Back of the rim. Rebound tip. Rodriguez off the rim. Tip again from Boone. No. Boy, this game above the rim. A lot of taps. That time didn't fall through.
You know what Coach Dutcher is going to say for San Diego State? Why aren't we boxing out? You can't just jump with UNLV. They're incredibly athletic. You got to put a body on someone and box out.
Lots of huffing and puffing on each side. Timeout, San Diego State. Another classic in the Mountain West. Don't go anywhere. Hey, for the sophomore from Phoenix. UNLV, Luis Rodriguez has been active on the glass, but UNLV can't seem to get it to fall through. They're just 1 for their last 11 shooting.
Welcome to playing against San Diego State's defense. That's by design.
Yes. Annually, one of the best defenses in the nation. UNLV over the last 10 games, one of the best defenses in the country. We knew this would be a rock fight coming in. San Diego State, Powell with the O board. Stick back, whistle, chunk ball. Keelan Boone from over the top, and the arrow gives it to UNLV.
Tramel just has to put a shot up because he was stuck in no man's land. That was a good job of contesting and blocking shots without fouling from Boone.
UNLV, you talked about their unique resume, how they just seem to be giant killers and sometimes suffer losses you don't expect as well. But in the last 8 games against ranked teams, UNLV is 6-2.
There's not a team in the country that wants to face UNLV right now.
And that's why Keelan Boone rattles down a 3. His first 3 points of the second half doubles the lead for the running Rebels. Step back, Tramel fires wide left. Luis Rodriguez, the team's leading rebounder as a guard, tallies that one. Thomas behind the back weave. Whaley tapped it out of bounds. Well, Keelan Boone for UNLV doubled the lead on this 3-pointer. Gorgeous form and a connection. You're watching March to March.
I mean, how good are those games? I actually have the New Mexico at Utah State game. That is a must-win game for the Lobos Saturday night.
And the quest to get 6 teams in the NCAA tournament from the Mountain West. Still some work to do. UNLV, not one of those teams discussed. Yet they might be the hottest team. And Micah Parrish trying to cool them off. San Diego State had missed 9 in a row before that 3. Nearly a turnover. And the team that won the championship in 1990 against the runner-ups from a season ago, Luis Rodriguez, perfect on a 3. Mike, it seems like in a game like this, the best looks these teams could get are 3s. Not much inside the line.
San Diego State has taken 28 three-pointers in this game.
Lamont Butler, no look, and the land batted, and it gets to Boone. Caleb Boone says, let's settle down.
Caleb Boone has 2 blocks and 3 steals in this game.
Not to mention 16 points and 10 rebounds.
Excuse me, 3 blocks.
Boone hunting for more. Draws the contact. We'll head to the free throw line.
Watch Didon Thomas get into the paint and drive and kick. Anytime the ball goes into the paint, teams see an increased field goal percentage, particularly from the 3-point line, because everybody knows how good Didon Thomas is at finishing around the rim. He drew 3 defenders and makes the intelligent play to kick out for a teammate.
3rd foul on Parrish. Yeah, the vision too, not just the ability to draw defenders, but then know who's open from the help.
Well, and the pace of that possession too for Thomas, who actually, what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to get a dribble handoff and come off the left side of the floor. He rejects the dribble handoff to give himself more space.
Caleb Boone, a 71% free throw shooter. Saunders, sharpshooter back in, and so is Jaden Ledee, the All-American candidate for San Diego State.
Points have been hard to come by for the All-American candidate, Jaden Ledee. Just 8 points with 6 minutes left. It's 2 of 10 from the field.
Just saw Caleb Boone's numbers, referenced Keelan's a minute ago. So UNLV has the 7-point lead. Ledee in traffic. Heard a whistle, but that's because the ball went out of bounds, no foul. 17 to shoot.
Coach Dutcher put 2 hands up. He thought there was enough contact there to warrant a foul. He went right to high-low action for Ledee as soon as he checks into the game.
Keelan with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Rodriguez hounding Butler. Parrish, deep 3, rattles it in. He's shooting a career low 31% from distance this year, but he hits a huge one to put San Diego State within 4. Thomas all alone in the backcourt, bumped by Ledee. And that is the 3rd on the San Diego State star, not to mention team's 8th, so the 1-and-1.
Here's Thomas, and that's Ledee. Even though he doesn't like the call, Ledee is riding Thomas with his left hand. That's an easy hand check call for the referee. Thomas can sell it too. You need to bounce off of Ledee. That's how you sell the call.
San Diego State, 4 players with 3 fouls. Have to be careful in the game's last 6 minutes. Front end, Thomas has missed a handful of free throws in this one. Now 3 for 7 from the line.
And he's 10th in the Mountain West in free throw shooting. Shoots over 75% from the line. Good help by Whaley to allow Rodriguez to recover.
Ledee, double vision. Fires to the corner. Waters saves it. Ledee with 3. Spins. Pushes. Whistle. And it's a defensive foul. That was such a big, dramatic moment in this game and what Randy Richardson would call. You see the elbows going up from Ledee, but they call the defensive foul. The officials signaled they'll go to the monitor. What do you see here?
Now, is this a basketball play from Ledee or a non-basketball play from Ledee? With those elbows going up. Watch the spin right there. To me, it doesn't look intentional. I understand live why a lot of the fans at the Thomas and Mack were upset. But to me, Ledee is making a basketball play because he's bringing the ball up high as the spin move happens. If he brings it low, it's probably going to be a deflection or a steal.
Now, they called that foul on Keelan Boone, to remember as they take a look. Keelan was the second defender. You see him towards the right of the screen. This is where they called the foul on UNLV's number 20. So is this one of those where you could call the foul on Keelan Boone, but then a post-play flagrant on Jaden Ledee?
That's correct. So if this gets upgraded on Ledee to a flagrant one, the defensive foul still counts, but you would also get a flagrant one foul. Common foul.
Common foul is the indication from the referees, so nothing extra, just a foul on Boone.
And the referees looked at the basketball play that was made there. And there you can see Ledee and Whaley actually talking about it. Whaley goes, don't worry about it. I really felt like Ledee was making a basketball play because you had to spin high there. If you spin low, the ball might be getting stolen. What a steal by Ledee.
And that time it's a foul that will head to the line.
This kid is early work. It's just relentless of Ledee working in the post. A good duck in and seal. And the other thing that he doesn't get enough credit for, Ledee catches everything. Everything. You throw it anywhere close to him, he's going to give you a good position, a good target, and he's catching every single pass that comes his way.
So a body like that, and he catches everything. Think of some of the former power forwards in college basketball that turned into tight ends.
No question about it. I mean, he is built like an all-pro linebacker, but he has the feet of a featherweight boxer.
And he has the touch at the line to pull San Diego State within 2. And Ledee in this game, 9 points. Make it 10 after the free throw. 2 for 11 from the floor. UNLV's done a great job on him, making it difficult. Speaking of difficult, how did that go? DJ Thomas.
0 passes on that possession. That was just all D-Don Thomas being better than you.
Then they get it to Ledee.
He's open.
Can he create himself? Turnaround fade. That one didn't have a chance when it left his hands.
Yeah, way too flat. Not enough arc.
UNLV has won 9 of their last 10. Their loss in that stretch was a game where they led with 4 minutes left against Nevada at home, but allowed a 14-4 run to end it. Thomas, bullseye! He has 15 for UNLV. Parrish fouled before those steps flying to the rim. It's on Thomas, but this shot was by Thomas. Deadly from distance. You're what? All 11-5, even 1 game back of first place. Nevada leading Boise State by 13. In the second half of that game in Boise. So a lot for Brent Stover, Roy Hibbert, John Rothstein, Gary Barris to talk about. In fact, my favorite listen this time of year is the Inside College Basketball podcast, really any time of year.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Gary Parrish, Matt Norlander, and you get
Absolutely.
Parrish, arguing why his 25-1 is the best rankings in the country.
Got to have the and one too. That makes it special. Ledee fouled right off the inbounds. And the potential player of the year in the Mountain West will head to the free throw line. Whaley called for his third foul. It's UNLV 6. San Diego State, they have 18 fouls, so the 1-and-1 on the other side. Ledee, 74% from the line.
And free throws are absolutely gold for San Diego State. When you're down, 3:30 left, free throws act as many timeouts for Coach Dutcher. You get to set up your full court press on makes, and you look up and UNLV, the next foul is 7 fouls, which means you don't have to settle for anything contested. Get to the rim, get back to the free throw line, and extend this 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
The ball in the hands of the true freshman, reclassified, just 18 years old, Dedan Thomas. Draws the switch, has Jaden Ledee sticking him. On the other side, you have Caleb Boone in the post, defended by the smaller Trammell. Make that Butler defending. 3 to shoot, Boone, no, and Butler goes low for the rebound. Slow to get up. The officials pause play to make sure Lamont Butler is okay.
Excellent job between Parrish and Butler of walling up without fouling. It's something that they work on every single practice, and you can see how that left knee got banged just a little bit by Caleb Boone. Hard to find tougher player than Lamont Butler, I can tell you that right now.
The guy who has hit a bigger shot in his career. Remember, he had that game winner against FAU in the Final Four. Parrish bunked. Wow, he finishes tough against Whaley.
As the good defensive possession on that previous play, walling up, and gets the tough as nails finish.
One possession game, 2:25 left. Thomas navigates the screen, eyes up, looks back. Rodriguez, 3 and D, this time attacking, and gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line, hammered to the ground.
Micah Parrish is a lefty. He wants to drive left. Have to know that from a scatter report standpoint, but that is a tough as nails finish from Parrish. Smart play too. Easily could have been an and one. Enough contact to warrant a foul.
The foul's on Trammell, his second, team's 9th. Rodriguez, 77% from the line. It's been a tough go for Ledee, about as difficult as he's had to work all conference season, just 2 for 12 shooting.
UNLV has changed up how they've guarded him. They've doubled him on the catch. They doubled him waiting for him to dribble once. There's been triple teams. You have to throw great scores, different looks, so they'll carve you up.
Senior night crowd wearing white on their feet. Parrish cuts, layup, no, Ledee tap back, won't fall, but he's bumped. UNLV thought he was hanging on the rim, but instead Caleb Boone called for his third.
I didn't see much there on the follow-up dunk. Maybe a little bit on the left arm. Not much there, Chris.
Ledee 8 of 10 from the line. Best he can do is make it a 4-point game.
And if you're Dedan Thomas of UNLV, you should expect the full court press.
Misses both. Rebound loose. Thomas vacuums. Timeout UNLV. Kevin Kruger, third-year head coach. The best stretch of UNLV basketball in his time. Trying to put an exclamation point.
Chris Lewis, Mike O'Donnell here in Vegas. Now, Mike, you've talked about how Ledee has had to work hard in the changes of defenses from UNLV to make it really tough for the potential All-American.
Yeah, most all of his points have come from the free throw line. 8 of 12 from the free throw line, just 2 of 12 from the field. Every shot has been contested. Almost every single time he's touched the ball, he's been double teamed. That's what you have to do when you play against an All-American like Jaden Ledee. It's the only way to slow him down.
So how should UNLV approach this possession here, a 5-point lead?
So it needs way more ball movement. The ball has just stayed in Dedan Thomas's hands, and there hasn't been enough ball movement for my liking. We're getting multiple ball screens up here. No reason why you can't attack the rim. Here's the mismatch. Thomas and Ledee.
Thomas Hughes bumped off glass, no, and Bird flies. San Diego State possession. Pick and pop, Saunders, Rainbow, strong. Bird taps the board. Butler, big shot, Butler. 2-point game, 1:08 left. And right now, Saunders, the concern, he's still down. Lamont Butler has a flair for the big shot, but Saunders, who missed the 3, still down.
Nobody touches Saunders, but he's grabbing his calf. And you hope it's just a cramp.
Oh, can't really seem to extend it to get up and walk back. And I mean, Saunders, such an important piece for how San Diego State spreads the floor at the 4 position.
Yeah.
At 6'8", his shooting ability vital down the stretch of this game.
I actually think defensively he's been just as good offensively.
Yeah.
Yes, he's hit 4 threes, but he's got 2 blocks. I think he's been great on the defensive end. And as you can see, he's favoring his right leg. If it was a cramp, the thing you have to realize is it just takes some time. You just have to wait. There's nothing you can do about it. Boone doesn't touch him, but he grabs his right calf immediately when he goes down. Excuse me, his left calf.
So Jay Powell is the San Diego State player who checks in. Try to stretch out the sophomore forward from Phoenix. San Diego State and Jerry Palm's latest projected bracket, a 3 seed. They're playing for seeding. UNLV, perhaps the hottest team in a stacked Mountain West.
Can you keep the ball out of Dedan Thomas's hands? Butler's trying to deny him right now.
Under a minute to play.
You know the ball screen's going to come.
Tipped, Butler, who just hit the big shot, registers a dynamic steal and finishes in traffic to tie it up. 58 all, 44.6 left. Can they get it in? Rodriguez pokes Bird to the deck, into the hands of Caleb Boone. He calls timeout with 40 seconds left. Tied at 58. Lamont Butler is taking over.
Lamont Butler has been consistently one of the best perimeter defenders in the nation. Period. Does not get enough credit. And then look at the poke. Sprinting back in defensive transition, Miles Bird makes a huge play to slow down Rodriguez in transition. The press bothered UNLV in the first half, and it is bothering them again late in the second half.
Quick game reset. San Diego State 9 team fouls, UNLV 7. Aztecs with a couple of timeouts left, UNLV with 1. You can see Lamont Butler, 10 points, a monster in this second half. Now it's UNLV ball here. San Diego State played the 2-for-1 as well. They should have a potential last look unless UNLV elects to go fast here. Doesn't look like they'll go with that.
They won't.
Boone screams. They get the switch with Powell.
You got the ISO. Here's the play right here. What does Thomas do?
Freshman resets. Thomas between the legs. Step back. No!
He got the switch he wanted. 18.6 left. UNLV leads by 2.
Gonna get a quick timeout here.
Scoop it up. Timeout, San Diego State. Deon Thomas Jr., ice in his veins. There is nothing that rattles this guy.
We are witnessing a star in the making. Deon Thomas, they get the switch. ISO, between the legs, step back jumper, cold as ice. Deon Thomas, that is, wow. All kinds of awesome from the freshman. Textbook step back, Jay. Woo. Man, what a game.
I mean, you get memories of some of those classic shots in the month of March. Those mid-range step backs where the guard has it on a string, and you have a feeling this guy who's just 18 years old, the Nevada Gatorade Player of the Year, who probably should be getting ready for his prom, reclassified, and instead on a team filled with veterans, old UNLV team, they put the ball into the hands of the freshman game in and game out, and he comes through.
So 17.5 seconds left for San Diego State coming out of this timeout. Elijah Saunders has checked in. He's been their best three-point shooter and their most consistent three-point shooter in this game. Wouldn't be surprised if they tried to use him as a decoy to get Ledee in ISO situation in the low post. Ledee's a good free throw shooter. He's been hard to stop at getting to the free throw line. Why not go to your All-American in this moment?
Then neither team with fouls to give.
Both UNLV and San Diego State both have one timeout left.
Trammell off the inbounds. Parrish for three, blocked. Keelan Boone got a piece. Keelan Boone rebounds. Deon Thomas with 6 seconds. Finally fouled. A lot of talk about the freshman, but it's the senior that gets another block shot.
San Diego State ran an elevator screen for Parrish, and this is an incredible closeout and block shot by Keelan Boone on senior night. What a play.
6.5 left, shooting 2 here.
Can't believe this kid's a freshman. I cannot believe that he is a freshman.
Timeout called. UNLV, which is interesting with the shooter Thomas at the stripe. Got a free throw here would make it a 2-possession game. Thomas in this game, though, has struggled from the free throw line. Just 4 for 8.
Elevator screen for Parrish, who fakes leaking out. You can see the double screen close, but just Boone reads it perfectly and finishes out with a great closeout, and he jumps to the side of Parrish to avoid the foul. High-level IQ defensive play from Keelan Boone.
Team that is second in the Mountain West in block shots. Double-digit blocks in this game, 10.
There's something to think about for UNLV. Make or miss, San Diego State needs a 3. Do you foul with 4 seconds left, up 3 or up 4, to try to play the odds? They're going to change that now. 6.5 seconds left on the clock for San Diego State. If UNLV doesn't foul right away, make or miss for this free throw, here's your internal clock if you're a guard or any player who gets the rebound. Each dribble is 1 second off the clock. So you got about 5.5 dribbles before you have to take a shot.
Well, this free throw, the pressing matter first for Thomas. Does make it a 4-point game. 6.5 to go. Trammell, 3-ball. No, Rodriguez, not the way, that does it. UNLV continues their magical run. Exclamation point.